Brought to you by Tailored Wealth, helping business leaders live their version of a rich life.
Welcome to another edition of the Making Sense of Your Money podcast, where we cut through the financial noise and help business leaders to make smart, confident money decisions. Welcome to episode 13 of the Making Sense of Your Money podcast. I am your host, Dan Pascone. I'm the founder and CEO of Tailored Wealth. And each episode of the Making Sense of Your Money podcast features a trusted voice in the financial world, someone who works directly with high-level professionals to simplify the complex and turn strategy into action. And today I'm super excited to have a special guest. We've got with us Saad Janjua, and Saad is the president of Saad Janjua Insurance and Financial Services. He is running a large and fastly growing insurance agency in the Midwest. So Saad, thanks for coming on and joining the Making Sense of Your Money podcast. We're pumped to have you.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you. It's a pleasure. I'm excited.
Likewise. So we've got a lot to cover, and I know our audience wants to hear a lot of your take on different key topics. So we're going to jump right in. But first and foremost, if you could just give us like a 90-second overview of what your business does and a little bit of how and why you got into it. Maybe a little bit of your backstory as well, because talking to you earlier, I think that would be important to share.
Yeah. So, Dan, I am an insurance agent, so home, auto, life, and health insurance. I am also a multifamily investor in my Fargo, North Dakota, Moorhead, Minnesota market area. And my background is I'm originally from Pakistan. I was born and raised in the city of Islamabad. It's the capital city. And I very early on just did not really fit well in my city. I knew there's something more out there. I was genuinely very curious. And so I took the leap of faith and moved here for college. I went to Minnesota State University, Moorhead, where I studied English, I studied communications, and really honed in on my soft skills. And, I just wanted to chase my American dream. So I really pushed for it, and I'm just super fortunate to be here. It's 2014 is when I came here, so it's about 11 years now.
Good for you.
And in these 11 years, I have accomplished more than I had ever imagined. And I'm super excited because I'm turning 30 in July. So I have lots of years ahead of me too. So I'm just very optimistic and excited to see what all can be accomplished.
I'm sure there is a lot more that will be accomplished, especially after all that you have. I think you told me you didn't even speak English when you came to.
Yes. So it was, I feel bad for my teachers, my friends. It was tough. I would make up words. I would use a lot of hand gestures, but the amazing people of Midwest are very kind, very patient. They really invested in me, and that made me make the decision to stay here and really invest and give back to this community. So I decided to put my roots down here. And I live here, I work here, I create opportunities in my area, and I'll tell you more about it. But yeah, I decided to stay here, and I've been here this whole time.
Good for you. Great story, and I love to hear that, and no doubt that you've got big things and big years ahead of you. So let's talk a little bit about your business. Tell us a little bit about what you do. Seems like you've got your own agency now. Tell us a little bit about how that operates, who you're working with, and what you're doing on a day-to-day basis.
So we have about 250 to 300,000 people in our area. So it's a small town, small to medium town. And so our agency services, it's a bordering city between Minnesota and North Dakota. So we service both states, and we sell auto insurance, home insurance, life, and health insurance. I'm also a multifamily investor in our area. I invest in single family, multifamilies up to, 10, 15 plex, 20 plexes. And so my day-to-day typically gets spent dealing with my customers, with our team. I'm fortunate enough to have a fantastic team. We're about 8 people in our team. So our team structure is very generalist model, where most of our team is split up between acquiring, which is acquiring new business, or servicing, which is servicing existing business. And we have a generalist model because I really live and breathe that no job is big or small. So everybody is fully capable of playing any role, but our office managers basically decides how the roles are split up. And then on the multifamily side, I do a lot of underwriting, I find deals, and I put offers.
Good, cool. Good for you. On the insurance side, tell us a little bit about your ideal client and what you help them to do.
So my ideal client, Dan, is um, anybody in our community that is looking for insurance. Insurance is a little bit different than other products, selling products, because it's state mandated. Everybody needs it. So I really focus on touch points that I try to see my competition is not really looking at. And so I try to bring, as I had mentioned prior to our interview, that I try to bring my Pakistani roots into our business, into our values. So we really focus on our customer service, how we're dealing with customers. So one little rule that we have in our office is that anytime a customer comes in, because post COVID, a lot of people started shying away from going in and meeting people face to face. So something that we really focus on is those touch points when people come in. Is our space smelling really pleasant? Is everybody in the office coming out and greeting that person? Are we making sure that we're making a cup of coffee for them, or a nice cold water if it's a hot day? I've seen that people love when we give their kids candy, little toys. So we really focus on those added touch points, because insurance offices are like DMVs, they're not very sexy. There's not much going on. Typically when people come in, it's probably not a very great day of their life. They got into an accident, somebody dinged their car. So we really like to focus on like celebrating those amazing moments. We're very thorough on documentation. If your kid turned 18, there's a very high likelihood that we have already documented that. And we're calling you before you're even coming in. Like, hey, Dan, we're so excited. Spencer turned 18. I can't wait for you to come in here. We have a little treat for him. Like, we make that experience super personalized.
Very cool. Very cool. I would imagine that's got to be a differentiator for you in that business, right? Because where others might be competing on price or coverage premiums or, little riders here and there that are probably difficult for the client to understand, how you make them feel is a big difference.
100%, Dan. I know there's a very popular word going around called the LTV, the lifetime value of a client. I cannot express you. Our customers have withstanded 30-40% rate increases, and they still won't leave us.
Yep.
We have built those deep connections. We have created notes. We encourage our sales team members to write handwritten thank you cards, and those things go such a long way.
Very cool. Very cool. I love that. Let's talk a little bit about your clients. What are the biggest challenges that they face, and how do you and your team help them to overcome those challenges?
Dan, I think right now the biggest challenge a lot of people are facing is the snowballing inflation,
Right.
which is really costing insuring things an arm and a leg. And the thing is that our business is not immune, just like any other business, where no matter how the market reacts, the consumer is on the brunt end of it. So I think the biggest challenge that customers right now are facing is just the sheer cost of insurance. And our strategy to counter that is by being very transparent and honest. We're empathetic to our customers. When your homeowner's insurance increases, we're empathetic to you, but I respect you enough to be transparent and tell you the why behind it. I will tell you that the cost of replacement is this. I will also tell you that what are the consequences of shopping around too often. And then I kind of I empower the customer to make the decision. Because at the end of the day, I really wholeheartedly believe that whatever is in their best interest is in my best interest.
Very cool. Very cool. I love that approach. And if you, I think this is such a lesson for any business. If you come at it from a lens of, I want to just do what's right for the customer, like every single time, in the long haul, things will be better for you if you do that, right? It's such
Absolutely.
a valuable.
And then when you have a lot of team members with you, you have to create a very black and white standard. You don't want them to be motivated by premium numbers. You don't want them to be motivated by, oh, let me make that one more sale. They should be motivated by doing the right thing.
Agreed. Agreed. Well said, brother. All right, let's talk a little bit about, you mentioned how you have various roles, but sort of everybody can do everything on your team. Let's talk a little bit about how you get customers, how they find you, how you ultimately get connected. Talk me through like a new client journey with your agency.
So Dan, as much as I'm a feelings type of a guy, I do like to look at some numbers. And the biggest thing I saw was that there was really not much success that I was seeing with internet leads or direct paid marketing through Google. We would see between a 1 and a 10% conversion. And so we started to take a little bit of a different approach, and we started just going the old school method, going out to car dealerships, sponsoring school events, sponsoring the local toy hall. And we started seeing an almost 50, 60, up to 70% conversion on just those referrals. So our business is heavily focused on referrals. We incentivized on referrals. We're not shy. We have 315 Google reviews, 5-star Google reviews to date. We're not shy on asking for them for referrals, and we have them built right into our system. If you had a great experience, Dan, our guys are trained, our team members are trained to ask you like, hey, Dan, if you had a great experience, the best compliment we can have is if you can tell us if somebody else would like a service like this. And that's our primary driving source.
Love it. Love it. Obviously, in really any services-based business, referrals are so critical, and it's probably the hardest to get oftentimes. So it sounds like you've really cracked that code, but obviously the one that's the stickiest form of new client acquisition. Let's talk a little bit about referral partners for a second. Do you collaborate with referral partners? And if so, what do those relationships typically look like?
100%, Dan. I think that that's honestly the secret sauce. If you ask me, like we have grown our Instagram profile to up to 10,000 followers just by really partnering with other referral businesses. I think that people truly underestimate the fact that when a local nutrition shop opens or a local coffee shop opens and you go and spend $1,000 there and you give them a shout out and you do it just with good faith, without anything in return, without having them wear your t-shirt, that good faith goes a very long way. And I think that it took me a while, because I'll be honest with you, I was not like this before. I used to always think that everything had to be transactional. And that's where I had to grow, where I started, I read a book by we have a big insurance professional. His name is Scott Grates. He wrote a book that is Referrals Done Right. And in that book, he mentions how he actually learned this from a realtor, that there was a local realtor in her community that just kept giving with nothing in return. And she kept on doing that for 6 months, 8 months, 12 months. But she gave with so much overwhelming volume that there were so many seeds planted all over the place that she would just constantly get business back. And when I kind of adopted that theory, the first 6 months were really hard because I just wasn't seeing anything. But then, come around 8 months where we were going to open houses, bringing breakfast to car dealerships. A big one that we love doing is giving little doggy treats at doggy daycares. We realized right around that 7th or 8th month, we're to a point now where when I ask my sales team members, hey, would you like some more leads? They kick me out of the office. So that's kind of what I strive for. And that's just by just not even focusing on what we're getting in return. We try to seize every opportunity for a kids wrestling tournament, local basketball team that needs sponsorship, anything that they need. We try to get there first and beat everybody else to it.
Good for you. I love your touch points. I love the way you think about giving, and ultimately it seems like that's served you and your business really, really well. So kudos to you on that. All right, let's talk a little bit about the industry. Where do you see your industry going in the next 5 to 10 years? And then specifically, how do you see technology and potentially AI playing a role in the insurance space?
Dan, AI has taken everything by a storm. It is honestly the best thing that could have ever happened to us in our industry. I can tell you right now, the biggest implementation that we do for AI is it has dramatically improved our delivery when it comes to scripts, writing emails, professionally communicating, And that's just one aspect of it. On the technical end of it, I know that our companies are heavily utilizing AI to process applications, do surveys. And I think that we're honestly like just scratching the surface. I think this will get much, much, much bigger. And as far as like on the macro level, I think that insurance industry has definitely suffered, just like real estate. There was a market correction that was needed. So it's something that we're recovering from, but I think that we're closer than ever. It is not like how it was last year or the year before. I think that we're really, really close, and I think we're going to be really strong. I think it's an industry that's here to stay.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's certainly an industry that's well poised to weather all sort of market cycles, and I can definitely see AI really streamlining your space. I know enough about insurance in that sort of like the technical needs, especially when signing a client up, and sort of the labor intense nature of processing applications and stuff like that. I can definitely see, virtual assistants really helping with that.
100%. And even like there's so many aspects that I use AI now in my daily day-to-day process, like cleaning up Excel sheets, creating processes, scripts, things that honestly, Dan, would take me hours last year. I can now do them like in a matter of like a few minutes with just the right prompts.
Likewise, my
So
friend. Yep, and that's the key, is having the right prompts and training the models. And once you do that, you're right, it saves you a world of time. I'm in the same boat. I use it a ton. All
I
right,
love it.
now we're gonna shift gears a little bit, Sal. We're gonna focus now on you, get to know you a little bit better. All right. So this is one of my favorite parts of the show, and it's called the lightning round. All right. So I never tell guests about it ahead of time because we want it to be super organic. And all I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Just respond with the first thing that comes to your mind. Some of them can be one-word answers. Some of them will require explanations.
I love it.
You ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right. Coffee or tea?
Coffee all day.
All right. Cats or dogs?
Dogs, definitely.
Okay. What's one tool or piece of technology? You just mentioned one, so maybe you go back to that. Other than your computer or your phone that you can't live without?
My AirPods.
AirPods. Okay, that's a good one. I just got new AirPods actually. So
Love
that's top.
audiobooks.
What, are you an Apple AirPods guy, or what do you use?
Definitely Apple. Please don't judge me.
No, it's good. So it's funny. I have my Apple AirPods here for the office, right? So I've got them here for the office, and I've been using those for a long time. But I did just get the Beats that I'm using for when I exercise, and I like those a lot for exercise.
Really? Are they like really good noise canceling?
Yeah,
Are they
good
like
noise
really...
canceling, but also they are very snug on you. They're water resistant. And you know what I do now, Saad, is when I'm in the gym, I like to listen to audiobooks, which I'm a big proponent of. I like to read too, but audiobooks while you're exercising. And I can leave my phone in the locker room and I can go anywhere in the gym. And these have
Oh, wow.
they have the longest range. So I did a little bit of research on that. Actually, ChatGPT helped me with that research. So
Nice.
that prompted me to get the Beats, and I just put those into the routine.
I bet you it's nice to not carry the heavy phone on you. Then you can just
Exactly.
kind of like freely work out.
That's it. That's
I
the
love it.
deal. Yep. All right. Do you have a favorite quote or phrase about business or success?
I like to always think, take calculated risks. I have a mentor that really bought me into it. And I like constantly, it's always on my mind and repeat, like, take the risk, take the risk, take the risk, do it.
I love
But I
that.
have to like sometimes pull myself back.
Yeah, you and I are very similar in that regard. I'm with you on that one. You mentioned a book earlier, but do you have a favorite book on a favorite like business or personal focused book?
Yeah, I really like Alex Hormozy. I really like the 100 million leads and $100 million offers. Both are just like, I love reading them. Yeah, those are probably like one of my
Yep.
favorites.
I went through a big Hormozy kick last year myself. So read all his stuff, went through his training videos, all that stuff. So I'm with you. Really good stuff there. He's done some pretty remarkable stuff. Do you have a personal hack that you can share with the audience? So some sort of like personal productivity hack.
I do. I think that I had really learned over time to speak people's love language. I think that a lot of performance and productivity comes from having a good team, right? And a good team can only work if you're singing in their language. And it took me, I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out. But since I have really honed in on that, I think it has really changed a lot of things for me. It has brought a lot of time back into my day and I've been able to retain a lot of talent.
Good for you. Good for you. That's so critical.
And then if I may, like, I would just like to expand a little bit more on that if
Yeah,
I
please.
didn't clarify
Please.
it. By speaking people's love language, what I mean to say is like really genuinely take interest in people's interest. Like if you have a guy that's super into sports or like into lifting, please ask him like, hey, how was your lift yesterday? What exercise did you do? Like it cannot be small talk. Budget in 5 minutes of your time, but like please ask him like, how was that? If somebody's kids are in recital, please take a moment to ask them by their name, like, hey, how was so and so's recital? What did she sing? Like take genuine interest. And like if you love your business, you have to start falling in love with those people's interests. So much so that like it cannot be disingenuine. Like it has to be genuine, because if you want people to die for you, you have to be willing to die for them too.
Well said. Very powerful. Very powerful. What's one bucket list item that you've already accomplished?
Well, I wanted to come to America.
There you go. There you go.
So
That's I figured you might go there. I was going to say you've already answered some of these in the earlier parts sections of the podcast, so that's great.
yes.
All right. Sounds like you're focused on investing, you're focused on personal and professional growth. What's one financial milestone that you're working towards?
I think I would really, let's see, I want to get to 100 million.
Love that. Love that. Love that. Good for
I
you.
wasn't sure if I should say it out loud or not.
No, you
but
can say it
I
out
just
loud.
did it.
Our audience loves to hear it, so you can say it out. You're good. Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
All right, and then lastly, if you could give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Take more risks.
Love
I feel like risks have always paid out really well.
Good for you. Love that. Love that. All right. And then lastly, if our listeners want to connect with you, whether they need your services, want to collaborate with you, maybe have a referral partnership, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Absolutely. Please, you can reach out to me via Instagram.
Okay.
My handle is at Saad, SAAD, the insurance guy. My social media manager monitors that very closely, and I directly respond to everybody. And you don't have to be in my area or buy my services. If you just want to connect and talk, I would love to talk to anyone.
I'm going to reach out to you right after this. So
Please.
that's good stuff. All right. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing your insights. Thanks for being a part of the pod today. That's it for this episode. Thanks to Saad Janjua, and for everybody tuning in, keep your strategy sharp, your goals clear, and your money working as hard as you do. Thanks again for joining us, Saad.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate you.
Cheers.